So today we've got a quick review. So ALLPOWERS have sent us another battery bank. Now they sent this. This is the ALLPOWERS S2000 plus the 400 watt solar panel, the SP037. They very kindly sent it to us for review. So this is it. Now they also sent us the R1500 sort of, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago. So in comparison, this is a lot lighter. I like this because it's got the grab handles as well. So it is much lighter than the other one. It doesn't have the phone charging on the top. That's a big difference, and it has the handles. Apart from that, everything else is more or less the same. So you probably notice here, these are the EU sockets. Now obviously we've been in Spain for the last couple of months, so they sent it to us here, but in order to do that they had to send the EU version, obvious reasons. So it's no problem because you just got an adapter. You just use the EU to UK socket adapters. Don't make any difference to me. So yeah, you've got the same sort of setup. You've got your on button, your AC outlets, and then you've got your DC. So that includes, if I can get this thing open, there we go, you got your sort of 12 volt cigarette style power there, 2 USB-Cs and 4 USB-As. Now the USB-Cs, they're a higher wattage output on those, and then also on the front, pretty much that's another big difference actually with the other one. Everything's on the front on this one. So you've got your solar input there. What you can't do is link up other battery banks to it. So as we've got the R1500 as well, we can't link the two together to increase the capacity. This doesn't have that function of being able to link to other banks, so it is standalone. We'll specify that. On the back you've got your power in, your AC power in from your mains. I've been running it through its paces. It's been performing quite well. We're pretty happy with it, to be fair. We don't bother with the charging on the top. I mean, if I'm going to charge, I'll just use the USB-C because it's quicker. I know some people prefer the wireless charging on the top. Yeah, so we'll just give it a quick run through. So that's your power button, hold that down, powers up. So it's currently showing 100% now because I did charge it up using the solar panel actually. Charged up, I'll show it later in the video, but it did charge up to 100% from 5% within I think about 5 or 6 hours. So that's pretty good. It's free energy. Don't matter how long it takes, does it, if it's just sat there. Then you've got your AC on, which powers up these sockets, those outlets there. If you press DC button, that powers on obviously your 12 volt there and your USBs and your USB-Cs. If you hold the DC button, comes up Bluetooth. Now that does allow you to connect to your phone. Why you'd want to, I don't know. It's useless. I'm going to be honest. There's no benefit to it because the only functionality you've got within the app, unlike the R1500 where you can adjust the power input so you can get faster charging, this one just charges fast automatically. There is no, you've got no eco mode, normal or fast. This doesn't have that. So basically the only functionality you get is being able to turn on your AC or turn on your DC via the app. Now, if this goes into standby, you've got to come and turn it on anyway. So what's the point in the app? No point. You might as well press a button and get your phone out and fiddle and go on. What is the purpose? There is no purpose. So that, for me, complete waste of time. But you know, to be honest with you, it's a very sturdy bit of kit. It's, I'm not going to say lightweight, because it's not lightweight, it's lighter. For the power that you get, it's pretty damn good, to be fair. In that sense, it is lightweight for the amount of power it produces. So the storage of this is 1451 watt hours. The inverter, it's a 2400 watt pure sine wave inverter. You can power up to 2700 watts, but that does include all of your DC as well as across these. Now obviously you've got four sockets. How likely you are to use all four, don't know, but they're there. You can't really complain for putting extra power outlets there. Chances are, most people in our sort of situation, we would definitely charge our e-scooters. We've charged our e-scooters off this. Now our e-scooters we bought while we were in Spain, they have the EU power bricks. So that's great. They just plug straight in, don't need any adapters. So we can plug 2 of those in, and then we've still got 2 spare. Now if I wanted to, I could charge my battery drills. I could plug my battery drill in and charge that as well. So now there I've used 3 already. So it's good. So what I am going to try and do now is plug the kettle in. Going to try a couple of things. Going to try the kettle. That's a 2000 watt kettle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it right up to full. It says 4 cups that side, but it's 1 litre. So we're going to plug this in and see, one, how well it performs, whether it'll cope with a 2 kilowatt kettle, and then also how much battery power or how much percentage of the battery it'll drain doing a full 1 litre kettle. Pete here will keep you entertained while I just fill the kettle up. Alright, there we go guys. So full 1 litre kettle. Seems my kettle might be a bit broke. There we go. Fan's just kicked in. So it's drawing 2065 watts. Now the R1500, I couldn't even turn the kettle on, because that is only 1800 watt. Although it does say it's got 3000 watt boost on it, it'll only boost for a very short time, just like a couple of seconds or something like that. It won't hold that power output, so it just gives you an error. I won't make you watch all this, I'll fast forward it. Okay, coped with that quite well. Fan booted off as soon as power dipped. Fan cut off as well, so it's not too loud. I have seen other reviews where people are complaining about the noise of the fan. I didn't think it was that bad. And it's taken 12% of the battery to basically boil 1 litre of water on a 2000 watt kettle. So not too bad if you're desperate for a cup of coffee. But there again, you know, 1 litre, that's a few cups. Generally you'd probably have a half litre or something for 2 people, wouldn't you? So yeah, not too bad at all. So obviously that'll bring me on to the charging of this then. So it's got fast charge built in, like I said before. 1.5 hours to charge from 5% to 100%. And again, like I said, when we had good sunshine, we charged this up in like about 5 hours or so off the solar, so not too bad. It will also, on the solar side, it'll accept up to 1,000 watt solar in one go, so you can link up several portable panels if you wish, using the splitter cables. So basically you only have the one input, but you'd need to split it to accept more solar panels, but it will accept up to 1,000 watts. Now I'm also going to try a toaster on this, either a toaster or an air fryer. We've got a big air fryer. I might try the air fryer. Now we do have a beast of an air fryer. This is the Ninja 2-drawer double stack. Does take quite a bit of power. Now I'm going to try it with 1 drawer. This should run 1 drawer, no problem. I think 2 kilowatt per drawer. Not entirely sure, but I know they're quite hefty. So we'll stick it on, put it on air fry, 200 degrees, 20 minutes. That's kind of normal for a lot of air fryers. We'll give it a go. Actually, it's 1200 watts for 1 drawer by the look of things. I wonder if we can get away with 2 drawers. Should we push it to its limit? You want me to, don't you? Go on. Air fry, 220 minutes. Should we go for it? Here we go. Fans are all ramping up left, right and centre here. You've got the fans on the air fryers. You've got a fan on this going, kicking out. That is pushing 2,420 watts. That's pretty impressive, because that is a beast. And on occasions it's been known to trip out the electrics on a motorhome, especially when I'm running like the Mac or something like that, you know, because the Mac runs quite hefty too. Settling around 2,400 now. That I'm really impressed with. I've just used 6% of battery power there in a couple of minutes. I mean, this little thing ain't gonna last long. It probably won't do 20 minutes of cooking, but you don't know, because with air fryers they heat right up, don't they? They heat up quickly and then they'll dip the power down, up, down, up. So I might leave it for 5 minutes and see what happens. Obviously I'll fast forward it, I won't be making you watch this. Still rocking at 2400 watts. Ah, look at that. Cup of tea. Thank you, love. Cheers. Okay, so we're now 1200 watts. Both drawers are still running, so obviously the heat has built up enough in there now that it can reduce the power down to half for each drawer, down to 75%. What do we start at? 88, and that's 4 minutes. We'll let that get down to 15 minutes, and oh, there we go. And now we've dropped down to 68 watts. So 1200. So this is where it fluctuates now on the air fryer. Dips in, dips out, dips in. 2400. And the more power that's used in this, the more the fan is working. So as the power dips, so does the level of the fan. But yeah, there we go. Quite impressive. You may have noticed, sorry guys, you might have noticed a slight change in the audio now, because I had a microphone issue. I and it did come on. So my DJI mic was working now. So yeah, for the first half of the video there, it wasn't working. Hopefully it's not going to affect the video too much. If it does, I'll have to redo. So yeah, that's well worth the money, I think. I mean, for people in sort of motorhomes, camper vans, you know, and the like, tents even. Not that you're going to be carting around a big air fryer if you're camping in a tent, but you never know. Some people do. At least you know that you could go away overnight and quite happily be able to make yourself a brew, and more than likely make yourself some tea, some fish and chips maybe. With this, pretty damn good. I mean, I have picked at it a little bit, especially with the app. That is naff, rubbish. Don't bother with it. Don't even bother downloading it. But power wise, pretty beastly. Yeah, can't complain there. So the price currently, if you grab one now, they're actually on sale. So they're on sale for $11.99.96 on ALLPOWERS website. Normal price $17.99.96, and if you use our discount code, the Bebs Beat, I'll write it in, you get an extra 5% off, so that's another 60 quid off. So, you know, something for nothing, isn't it? Just for putting a little code in. So another good thing that I do like to use this for, obviously I do my editing on this, on the Mac. Now, that is 240 volt. You know, I can't do anything about that. I do have a laptop, but it's not as powerful as that. Well, it's not as efficient as the Mac, shall we say. So I like to be able to do my editing, etc. on the Mac. Now, if we were off grid, yes, we do have capacity to run our own inverter on board. We don't have solar to charge up our batteries, not yet, but we do have a generator, so if I do need power, I can have power. However, with these battery banks, they're ideal. I could just plug into one of these, don't need to worry about putting a whole coach on, and have everything running. I could just use this. Another thing I like to use this for, in conjunction with running the Mac, is as a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply. So this has a 15 millisecond switch. That is fast enough to for computers, etc., to not even notice. It's that fast. So they won't switch off. It will just switch over. So I plug this into the wall, so it's kind of charging, and then I plug the extension lead from my media stuff into here, and I run it through. So from the wall socket, through this, out into the Mac or whatever I'm using. It then acts as a UPS. Now, we have had quite a lot of occasions where I'm working and then Di, my wife, in case you don't know, she might decide to put the air fryer on both baskets, and occasionally been known to put the kettle on at the same time. Now that trips the whole electrics out. There's no way it's going to run, so everything will trip. And then I'm sat working away, and it's like, boom. Oh. Now, luckily, because of the software I use, it generally saves automatically. So if you do get a power outage, it'll save your work. However, there is a slight caveat to that. Doesn't always. It might save it, but it can corrupt. So you could have done 10 hours worth of work straight, working away on a video, editing, and then the power cuts, and you won't have lost that work per se, but if it's corrupted, there's not much you can do with it. So you might try and reopen that file and it'll say corrupted, cannot open. That's your work down the tube. So this would save that. So basically all the electrics could go off, this would take over, all my work would be saved. So that is worth its weight in gold in my opinion, because it'll save me 10 hours worth of work and screaming and shouting as to why didn't you turn something off, why did you have to make a cup of tea. Speaking of which, she did make me a cup of tea. So yeah, on that note, we'll go and have a look at the solar panel. So the solar panel that ALLPOWERS sent us with the S2000 kit is a 400 watt panel, so it's 5 individual panels. And even on a cloudy day, as you can see behind me, hopefully, it's not exactly the sunniest of days. So let's see what we're actually pulling in at the moment. I mean, the sun is supposed to come out quite strong later, and the clouds are meant to clear up. So I've just put it out now because it was on 5% power left, and I thought, well, sun's coming out later, it's a bit hazy now, let's see what we can achieve even with a little bit of cloud. So even with a little bit of cloud cover, we're still achieving what, 170 to 180 watts input from a 400 watt panel, so I don't think that's too bad, almost 50% of its capacity, and we're not even in full sun or even at the optimal time. So the sun's just trying to burn through a little bit more now. You might be able to see it a little bit there. Don't want to face directly at the sun because I'll just whitewash you out, or whitewash me out. So the solar panel now, we're up to about 240 watts with a little bit more sun. So we'll see what it fares like when we've got full sun. It shouldn't be too long. Not sure how well you might be able to see that, guys, because the sun's shining quite brightly now, and we are pumping at 430 watts average there. So it's just really pumping the power into it now. Very pleased with that, considering it's a 400 watt panel, so very good. So in summary, I'd say it's worth the money. It is a good bit of kit. So if you're looking for something that will cope with 2 kilowatt kettle, 2 kilowatt toaster, a 2.4 kilowatt air fryer, this is your boy. Because as good as the R1500 is, it won't cope with any of those. So it's because it's only 1800 watt. Now, yes, it would cope with one of the drawers on the air fryer, like you saw earlier, because that's only 1200 watt. So it would cope with one drawer, that's fine. Or smaller kettles, smaller toasters, and smaller air fryers, it would. And then you've got the wireless charging on the top of that one. It's pretty, you know, I'm not knocking it. I'm not. I think for our personal use, I would go with this. That's my recommendation. If you've got slightly higher power stuff and you only want to, you know, make yourself a quick fish and chips, or you want to just boil a kettle while you're on the road, yeah, this one. If you want the extra functionality of the app, you don't need as much power per se, then go for the R1500. But the S2000, yeah, good bit of kit. I think on that note, we'll leave it there, guys. So thank you very much for watching along, and if you wouldn't mind, give us a like or a dislike. If you didn't like the video, just say so, tell me why, you know, I'd like to know so I can improve. I know I'm not the world's best reviewer, I've only done a few, but yeah, please just leave me a comment, a like, subscribe even, that'd be amazing. I'm sure there'll be other bits of kit will be coming along. I think we're going to do a little review actually on our e-scooters. Now, we did pay for those, so that won't be that's not a paid promotion or anything. This was sent to us for free. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching along. If you made it this far, you're a star.